Greetings, LaCroix friends. Several times a week, I take an early morning walk on the Cape LaCroix Trail with my dog, Toby. Lately, the quiet has been interrupted by cross-country teams from SEMO and a local high school. Squads of students fly by with coaches occasionally yelling at them to pick up the pace. One morning, on the part of the trail where the tree cover is thickest, a student decided to stop running altogether, thinking no one could see her. Well, let's just say the coach was closer than she thought, and she got an earful. It was quite entertaining. All that conditioning and practice is going to be put to the test on race day. That's when they'll see if they've adequately prepared. You and I are like those runners with one major exception. We never know exactly when the test is going to come. Members of a cross-country team can look at the schedule and see when the next meet is. With us, it could come at any time. At the end of Romans, the Apostle Paul greets several friends and leaders of the church at Rome. Among the greetings is this one: "Greet Apelles, whose fidelity to Christ has stood the test." No details are given. It's the first and last time Apelles is mentioned in Scripture, so we know nothing about him or what kind of test he endured. But Paul singled him out as one worthy of honor. I read that recently, and it made me think of our day and circumstances, and it got me inspired. Could it be that your time prior to this pandemic was merely preparation for this day? I do know this: the New Testament is filled with language about testing and appeals to endure trials. And what is it that's being tested? Our fidelity to Christ. You know the Marine Corps motto, Semper Fi, always faithful? Like Apelles, we're called to faithfulness to Jesus. What are the alternatives? Well, I could be faithful to myself and do what I find convenient or what is right in my own eyes. I could be faithful to what the crowd wants. It's a funny thing. I thought peer pressure stopped being intense when you graduated high school. Then we went through the pandemic, and as a pastor, I felt the pressure to conform and do what other pastors and churches are doing. Maybe you've felt a similar pressure. It forces us to ask, are we going to be people pleasers? Are we going to be selfish and do what we want? Or will we be faithful to Christ? Will we listen to Him and follow His guidance in our lives, even when that guidance puts us at odds with others? It's not just the pandemic. I believe that the upcoming election is a test, not about who you'll vote for, but how you'll handle yourself. There's so much anger and divisiveness. There is another way, you know. Will you bring the sweet aroma of Christ with you wherever you go? Will you love others, even those who think and vote differently than you? As the pandemic enters its 7th month, our faithfulness to Christ is being tested. As I survey the landscape, I get a bit concerned, honestly. Some are turning to conspiracy theories. Some are turning to blame, finding fault with just about everyone and everything. Sadly, some are dropping out of the race, and their walk with Christ is a mere shadow of what it once was. Friends, this is a marathon. This pandemic may grind on into next year. Will you be faithful to Christ? So, my role today is like that cross-country coach yelling out encouragement. And if you're slacking spiritually, I'm also calling you out to get back in the race, because this is a test. This is the test that really matters. You only get one life. Make it count. Missionary and martyr Jim Elliot once said, "Only one life will soon be passed. Only what's done for Christ will truly last." May it be said of you, when the season of testing is over, His fidelity, her fidelity to Christ has stood the test. May it be so.